I'm Don Hart. I'm a retired chemist. I worked through the end of last year and have been retired since January, and we moved in July 2017.
Hi, I'm Beth Sanford Hart. We moved here from New Jersey, and we actually got here the end of July. I retired last year, and we were very excited to come from New Jersey to North Carolina. I can say when we first thought about retiring, we knew we wanted to move out of New Jersey, but we didn't know where we wanted to go. We wanted to make a complete and total change. We liked Arizona, we liked the Northeast, but we wanted to be a little bit warmer. We decided, since we were familiar with North Carolina, my mother lived in Southern Pines, his family lived here, that we would consider this particular area.
We had looked at several houses. We hadn't really thought about moving into a place like Wellspring, which is odd because my parents had actually lived here. They were amongst the earliest occupants here. We didn't really understand that much about it, so we'd been looking at houses. My sister, Jerry and Lynn, decided to look at Wellspring, and we said, gee, that's a good idea. Why don't we do the same? And she had scheduled a tour. I think this is the place for us. One of the things was that we actually sat down and really looked at the economics of it. You know, I could still mow the lawn and maintain the house, but I just didn't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. And I had thought, well, this is probably going to be too expensive to come to Wellspring. And we hadn't really, looked at the financial part, but when we sat down and looked at it, we said, gee, we can do this.
Other items in our decisions too, as we were going to move, and we were moving a long way. We didn't want to have to move and then know that eventually we would have to move again. So it just made more sense to move into the place that was going to take care of us for the duration. And we have expectations that or hopes that it's going to be a really long time while we're here, but this is just made more sense when we really came and looked at it for the future.
That was a good lesson we learned from my parents, is move when you can. We're free to do anything we want here. It's not like moving into an old folks home. But we don't want to get into a situation where because of our house, you're forced to sell your house, or because of our health, you're forced to sell the house and move at something less than an optimum condition. When we looked at the financing, we weren't really surprised, but it forced us not only to look how much it costs to live here, but how much we would be able to pay. Because all our lives we've been putting money in our retirement plans, and you want to save up as big a nest egg as you can, but you don't really plan on spending that money. And I think that's what it forced us to do, is just really look at the overall picture and gee, we're better off than we thought we were.
That's true, very true. Much better off than we thought we were, and that makes it a lot more comfortable, and we realize it's the right decision. And also the fact that we're still on the younger side of people coming in, we feel it's even better reason for us to do it, because we can enjoy everything that there is to offer, which is endless. As time goes on, we can just do what we need to do and just stay within the same location. My thought is that I agree that the earlier you do something like this, the better it is. Because the quality of the life without having all the stress and all the other things that go with it is just freeing in a lot of ways. I feel like my health is better and a lot of things are better. So by doing it earlier, we're saving ourselves all that anxiety of having to make the decisions that we know we'll have to make down the line, but so many of those decisions will already be made. And it's really a freeing feeling to have that and to know it's going to be okay, and just enjoy everything that we're doing at the time. Well, we know that there's going to be a waiting list because there's demand. It's important to end up where you should be. So getting on the list early takes a little of the worry out, because if your name comes up and you can't do it, it's not the right time for you. All you have to do is say, we're not quite ready yet. Contact me again when next time something comes up. Or that's not really, I'm looking more for this than I'm looking for that. And being on the waiting list, you stay up on the top. When something comes available and it's your turn, you still have options. And there are a lot of options that you won't have if you don't get on the waiting list and really look for what it is that you're what you want. First of all, I'd say don't wait too long for someone who's interested in coming to Wellspring. However, it is always a consideration, what do you do with what you have, and do you have the right amount of money, and can you do that? My suggestion is that they just ask. Have them come and make an appointment and talk to somebody here who's very familiar with all of that, and then get an assessment of what it looks like for them to do that. And then don't worry. It's so hard when you don't know what you're getting into. But I would just say be as calm as you can, and if a decision is to come to Wellspring, then that's going to be the best decision you could possibly make. A lot of things go into getting here, there's no doubt about that. But to understand that once you get here, you won't have to make all those changes again. I'd say just check it out. The main thing is just check it out.